Best secret getaways you never knew existed.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Titanic. I'm your host, Alexa. Are you tired of taking the same vacation every year? Or maybe tourists are just crowding your favorite spots? Well, the places on today's list will take care of those problems. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so that you never miss an upload.
Apostle Islands, USA. The Apostle Islands are in Lake Superior, which is the largest freshwater lake in the world. It's part of a national park in Wisconsin that is made up of 21 gorgeous islands. Each island is filled with dense forests, lighthouses, and breathtaking caves below. During the winter, the caves under the island are encrusted with ice and transform into glittering caverns. Be sure to go to Stockton Island to see the famous Singing Sand. Jolla Lagoon, Greece. Jolla Lagoon is a natural pool formed in the cliff rocks on the side of the Aegean Sea in the Astris region of Greece. The pool is a crystal clear sea of warm emerald blue water that can be reached by a walk along a trail. It is a jewel in the crown of the Greek gods, a secret pool worth finding. Var Croatia. In the Middle Ages, Var was an important part of the Venetian Empire, but now it's becoming known for its welcoming atmosphere. It's a combination of cultural and historical points of interest with all the luxuries of Mediterranean travel. It is fast getting a reputation as a must-see city, so visit it while it's still a secret of the Dalmatian Riviera. Garden of the Gods, Colorado, USA. If you are ever in Denver, make a day trip to the Garden of the Gods. You will witness a geological wonder of 3-million-year-old red rock formations jutting up through lush green forests. Within the park are 5 different ecosystems: cottonwood willow, prairie grassland, mountain shrub, pinyon juniper, and ponderosa pine. Enjoy this diverse landscape forever free of charge. The last wish of the landowner, Charles Perkins. It's a wonder it's still a secret. Semuc Champey, Guatemala. Semuc Champey is a series of perfect natural pools cascading down a landscape of lush forest in Guatemala. It's a bit off the tourist trail and takes a bumpy ride to get there, but once you arrive, you will cross a limestone bridge from which you can access the turquoise waters of the pools. Blagaj, Bosnia. This country is filled with hidden gems that adventurous tourists are enjoying to themselves while they still remain relatively unknown. One of those wonders is this tiny village. It's surrounded by waterfalls with pools of azure blue water. Whitewashed homes and a monastery are nestled below a sheer cliff, which is a sacred place for the locals who built the village. The Glory Hole Ozark National Forest, Arkansas. This cave is something magnificent with what looks like a window made by the gods. It's carved out by the river above it. Water cascades through the eroded hole and light pours in, giving a surreal view into the divine. Bucket list material right there. Namaqualand, South Africa. One of South Africa's best kept secrets, but it's no secret to flower enthusiasts and botanists, as Namaqualand is home to the largest concentration of succulent plants on the planet. But that's not what its main claim to fame is. Once a year in spring, this stretch of untouched landscape fills with a rainbow of colorful daisies. Lofoten, Norway. Lofoten is an archipelago which looks like a sea dragon's spine jutting out of the cold ocean of Norway. It is a dramatic landscape of beauty and contrast that you can't forget just for its sheer scale. Contrasting the giant natural landscape are quaint seaside villages to experience Norwegian countryside hospitality. Watkins Glen State Park, New York, USA. Watkins Glen State Park forms part of the Finger Lakes State Parks in New York State. Watkins Glen contains river-carved canyons, waterfalls, and a natural landscape that is the state's best-kept secret. Rangiroa, French Polynesia. Rangiroa looks like postcard paradise. It's a ring-shaped atoll in French Polynesia, packed with natural wonders. It offers scuba divers the usual bright fish you would expect from these warm waters, but also green sea turtles, dolphins, hammerhead sharks, and manta rays. The area houses oysters that produce black pearls, so keep your eyes peeled for these treasures. Couture, Montenegro. On the Adriatic coast of Montenegro lies Couture, a medieval fortified town. The town surrounds a bay and has narrow, winding streets, a stone square, and Romanesque churches showing its medieval roots. The town has always had a close connection to the sea, and a maritime museum has a great collection of artifacts from its seafaring history. Skåne, Sweden. Most people think of Sweden tourist attractions as the Northern Lights and skiing, and that's about it. Few wander to the southern part of the country, where you will find Skåne County. This area offers endless biking and hiking, as well as 200 museums. Bike through the meadows of flowers, explore the mystical forests, or find out about the Viking history of the area. It's also becoming well known for its culinary offerings of unique Nordic food, so come hungry. Castelluccio de Norcia, Italy. The small town of Castelluccio de Norcia is famous for its annual displays of flowers from May to early July. During this period, the village that is on top of a hill overlooks fields of lentils and poppies in bloom. It looks like a canvas of colors as far as the eye can see. Sadly, the area experienced a bad earthquake in October of 2016, so there was damage to the village and roads. However, the village people have continued their farming tradition, and the annual display of flowers continues. Bale Mountains National Park, Ethiopia. Ethiopia is not traditionally high up on many people's travel list, but maybe it should be. This up-and-coming tourism destination has tons to offer adventurous travelers in terms of food, mountains, wildlife, and culture. One of the glorious natural landscapes to explore is the Bale Mountains National Park, also home to the Galata baboon. The area of dramatic landscapes boasts glacial lakes, volcanic ridges, and abundant wildlife, and will soon be a World Heritage Site. Gillette Castle State Park in East Haddam, USA. In the 1900s, William Gillette was a famous stage actor, most well known for his role as Sherlock Holmes. He lived in a large cobblestone castle he names Seventh Sister.
Gillette must have carried through his inquisitive traits from stage to home. He fitted out his castle with hidden mirrors to monitor his guests at all times. Sure, it's a little weird, but now visitors can go and see this oddity for themselves.
Buksan Village in Seoul, South Korea. South Korea is heating up with tourists, so before it gets too well trod, go and take a peek. If you like to immerse yourself in traditional culture, you'll enjoy visiting Buksan Hanok Village, a cluster of hundreds of traditional houses known as Hanok. Some of the houses are really old and date back to the Joseon dynasty. Within the area are guest houses, restaurants, and tea houses, and it's the perfect place to stay for a few days. Ronda, Spain. Ronda takes the saying "home with a view" to a new level. The white villas perch on the sheer cliff's edge that drops from a dizzying height. If you take a walk on the narrow bridge Puente Nuevo that joins the two sides of the town, the whole valley opens up, showing the steep canyon below. If you can't stomach the narrow bridge, the city has public spaces which are almost a balcony off the edge of the cliff, and the views are equally spectacular. Qinghai, Russia. Qinghai is one of 1,600 or more islands on Lake Onega and is home to the magnificent Transfiguration Church. This incredible landmark is made from wood and contains 30 ornate wooden domes, all making up the towering steeple roof. The island has many beautiful buildings made entirely of wood, the oldest dating back to the 14th century. Shirakawa Go, Japan. Shirakawa Go is famous for their traditional gasho-zukuri farmhouses. Some of them are more than 250 years old. Visitors can even book to stay overnight in one of them, getting a real taste of authentic Japanese culture. The area is such a precious part of Japan, it's been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1995. Mariana Islands, Mexico. You literally need to obtain special permission to visit this next secret location. And perhaps that is what has kept it such a natural treasure in Mexico. If you are granted a permit, you will experience untouched beauty as your reward. Dolphins, humpback whales, sea turtles, and manta rays are all frequent visitors of the Mariana Islands. Ladakh, India. This is a beautiful mountainous landscape in northern India. The Himalayan kingdom of Ladakh is a giant kingdom spread over 4 mountain ranges: the Great Himalaya, the Ladakh, the Zanskar, and the Karakoram. The views alone are worth the travel, but the unspoiled landscape, fresh air, stargazing, and Buddhist heritage are what make most travelers not want to leave. The area offers homestays in the Shakti village houses, or you can opt for more remote, luxury-tented camps. Las Pozas, Mexico. Las Pozas is an art and nature lover's dream. This 80-acre garden was built by Edward James, who filled it with beautiful sculptures and statues from around the world. Visitors can enjoy a dip in one of the swimming pools, the wild landscape, thriving wildlife, and the mystical staircases that link it all together. Tani Lot Bali. We can tell you about Tani Lot, but by the time you get there, it might have moved locations. This Hindu temple is poised on a rock in the ocean, a beautiful but precarious location. This has caused the temple to relocate many times throughout the years due to changing tides and ocean erosion of the rock on which the temple stands. Isfahan, Iran. Some of the draw cards of Iran are the tranquility and beauty of the cities, like the cultural center Isfahan, the former capital of Iran. The center of the city is the Mosque of Imam, with a massive blue dome that towers over the city. From here, the city spills out into boulevards, bazaars, and squares where locals meet. The intricate detail and color are a celebration of Iranian culture that is winning over tourists as they venture in. Rock Islands, Palau. If you are looking for untouched beauty, the Rock Islands in Palau could be your place. The Rock Islands are 300 islands stretched over miles of turquoise ocean in the southern lagoon of Palau. The water is teeming with marine life and luckily will remain protected as it was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List in 2012. Have you been fortunate enough to visit any of these places? Tell me about it in the comments below. 1. Olomouc, Czech Republic. If you want to experience a piece of old-world Central Europe, visit Olomouc before the crowds move in. It is a tiny cobblestone-laned town with fountains, Baroque churches on every corner, and historic castles. Quaint doesn't even begin to describe its fairy tale magic. You have to check it out for yourself.